guys, it's 4:04 on May 2nd, and the book that I'm doing my book talk on is Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zauner. And currently, I'm actually also in H Mart. This book is a memoir, so it follows the story of Michelle Zauner as she grows up reflecting on her Korean identity, her relationship with her mom, and dealing with grief after her mom passes away. For those of you who don't know, H Mart is a popular Asian grocery store chain, and whenever the author walks down these aisles, she feels a sense of devastation when thinking about her late mother. Her mother loved to express her love through food, and looking around this place, I can definitely see why. And ever since she was a teenager, her mom has had high expectations for her when relating to her Korean culture, to her academics, her extracurriculars, and what she wanted to do in the future, which are aspects that one might associate with a typical Asian household. The relationship is very loving, but sometimes it can become very difficult to navigate, especially as teenager Michelle struggles to meet up with her mom's constant demands. And she is essentially like the bridge that connects her to the Korean part of her culture, because her dad's American and her mom's Korean, so she never feels like she fits in any of those aspects of her life. However, as Michelle gets older, she starts drifting away from the Korean aspect of her life and more into American culture. She begins to become more immersed into where she's living. Her mother loves cooking, so cooking is one of the ways that they still stay connected despite this distance. And then the book essentially shifts after her mother gets cancer. When she gets cancer, Michelle lives under emotional regret and a lot of heavy feelings because she's unable to give back to her mother for all that her mother had done for her. She starts looking back onto her teenage years and wondering if she could have done anything different to help her mom despite these tough times. After her mother passes away, she has to deal with a lot of grief. She feels like her identity is lost because she lost the only person who defined her sense of self. And that's when she starts to reconnect with the culture without her mom acting as the bridge between her and her Korean side. So now we're going to talk about the book cover. I feel like the book cover looks very minimalistic, very simple, but there's a lot of symbolism associated with the way the book is designed. On the front, you can see these two different sections. In my opinion, I interpret that to mean her and her mother, as well as her and the Korean side of her identity. And the noodles represent the bridge that her mother was like to that side of her, and they're like threads, so it's very delicate as well. And that's just kind of how I interpret this book cover. The main theme here is a sense of identity and self-discovery, as well as grief, because after she lost her mother, she was unable to function in a way. And I like how she doesn't try to sugarcoat her relationship with her mom because she remembers both the good and bad. This book is about finding who you are after the person who defines you is gone from your life. If you guys like this book, I would recommend reading Tastes Like War by Grace Cho, because both the books are memoirs that focus on the mother-daughter trauma as well as using food as cultural connection. This book is filled with so many quotes that are so emotionally disturbing that you might find yourself cry sometimes. And one of the quotes that I really enjoyed reading was the way she compares her relationship to her mother to the process of fermentation, that I think is such a unique way of explaining it. So here's the passage. I had thought fermentation was controlled death, but when brined and stored, the course of its decay is altered. Sugars are broken down to produce lactic acid, which protects it from spoiling. Carbon dioxide is released and the brine acidifies. It exists in time and transforms. Its flavor becomes tartar, more pungent. So it's not quite controlled death because it enjoys a new life altogether. The memories I had stored I could not let fester, could not let trauma infiltrate and spread, to spoil and render them useless. They were moments to be tended. The culture we shared was active, effervescent in my gut and in my genes, and I had to seize them, foster it so that it did not die in me, so that I could pass it on someday. The lessons she imparted, the proof of her life lived on in me, in my every move and deed. I was what she left behind. If I could not be with my mother, I would be her. So yeah, if you guys ever feel like you've had a complicated relationship with your parents or feel like you're losing part of your identity, I would recommend checking Crying in H1 out. Thank you for listening to my book talk.